Hey guys, and welcome to today's video on my channel. In this video I want to share with you an alternative history about what would happen if Argentina won the Falkland Islands War against the United Kingdom in the year of 1982. We will explore what consequences it would have for both nations and South America as well. The Falklands Islands are located just off the coast of South America right here. As you can see, they are very close to Argentina. However, they are owned by the United Kingdom, which is 8,000 miles away. As you can see, the Falklands are divided into two, mostly called West and East Island. But before we get into the war, let us first explore the economic and political situation of both countries. Let us first start off with the UK. In 1982, the UK's economy was facing significant challenges and was considered being in a decline. The UK was in a recession with high levels of inflation and unemployment. The country was also facing a decline in manufacturing and exports. Additionally, the UK's economy was heavily dependent on North Sea oil reserves, which were expected to decline in the coming years. The UK was under the leadership of Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, who had been in office since 1979. Thatcher was a conservative politician who had pursued a policy of privatization, deregulation, and free market economics. Her government was also engaged in widespread strikes and social unrest. So, you can say that she was quite the controversial figure before the Falklands War, which gave her government legitimacy. The Falklands War was a significant event in Thatcher's government, as it was seen as a test of her leadership and chance to restore national pride. The government's successful military campaign in the war helped to boost Thatcher's popularity and strengthen her political position. In summary, things weren't looking too good for the UK in 1982. Argentina's economy in 1982 was also facing significant challenges. The country had been experiencing economic difficulties for several years, with high levels of inflation and debt. In addition, the country was facing a balance of payment crisis, which had been forced to implement austerity measures and seek international loans from the IMF. The economic difficulties were a significant factor in the military's government decision to invade the Falkland Islands, as the government hoped that a victory in the war would distract from the country's economic problems and boost national morale. In Argentina, the country was under the rule of military government led by General Leopoldo Galtieri, who had taken power in a coup in 1981. Galtieri's government was facing significant domestic challenges, including a growing opposition to military rule. Overall, in 1982, both the UK and Argentina were facing significant economic challenges. The Falklands War had a significant impact on both countries' economics, and the UK losing a valuable resource and Argentina facing international condemnation and political sanctions. The UK had decreased their military spending due to the economic situation, as well as they decreased their presence around the Falkland Islands. This was the perfect time to strike for Argentina, who also hoped that the UK wouldn't bother to defend the islands. Argentina took easily South Georgia Island, which is this island right here. After that, they sent 600 soldiers to the Falkland Islands. Zooming onto the island itself, here is the port city of Stanley, and it is where the small British garrison was stationed. The Argentinians overpowered them and the garrison surrendered, meaning that Argentina occupied all of the island. The UK, however, didn't back down and sent 100 warships to the island. The United Nations also condemned the Argentinian aggression, but didn't go as far, just like everything the UN does nowadays, pretty much. Most importantly, every American nation except Chile backed Argentina. Chile was a US ally who was a British ally. This will be very important later in the video. Now, back to the war. By the time the UK arrived, the Argentinians reinforced the island. The British destroyed an Argentine cruiser, which was controversial since it happened outside the British exclusion zone, which was set up as an area around the islands. The Argentinian Navy withdrew from the island, giving the naval victory to the UK. Argentina carried out air raids to the British Navy, inflicting heavy casualties and sinking a few ships. The Brits tested the Argentine defenses and morale in the Pebble Island, where the UK overpowered the Argentine garrison and took the island. Here's a fun fact for you. Up until recently, this island was actually for sale, but I couldn't see the amount of money they were asking for. Anyways, here are some pictures from the website. By the way guys, if you like this video I would strongly appreciate if you leave a like and subscribe. It's gonna help me out a lot and I will be able to go full time on this project and upload more than once each week. Now, back to the video. The British decided that they will land in a port city of San Carlos due to favorable terrain. The Argentine Air tried to prevent the UK from landing, damaging and sinking many shipping vessels, but still the British managed to form a beachhead. After they landed, the UK had two main goals, to march east and capture Stanley and to march south and capture Goose Green. They marched south and in the battle that lasted 14 hours, the Brits were victorious. After that, they headed east, where after winning small battles along the way, they managed to capture the town and the Argentinian garrison surrendered. Not so long after that, the country of Argentina surrendered. The UK issued 33,000 of these medals for soldiers who fought in the war. About 1/3 of them were awarded to the Navy. But what would happen if things went differently? What if Argentina won the Falklands War? This scenario is not too hard to imagine, as the UK public would much rather for the entire country to improve the economic situation rather than to keep the islands. In this scenario, the UK's economy collapses and goes into a free fall. The value of the British franc went down, inflation went up, as well as the country experienced a cost of living crisis and an increase in public unrest. Most importantly, the military spending went down because of the crisis. Margaret Thatcher promised that the war would be ended in 2 weeks and that the people endure the crisis for that period of time. It is important to know that the United States did not take any active role in the conflict and maintained a neutral stance. While the US provided some diplomatic support to the United Kingdom, it did not officially support or oppose either side militarily. In this alternative scenario, the start of the war is the same. Argentina captures South Georgia Island and sends 600 troops to the islands. After they secure the islands, they set up an air base and fortify the island. The UK still send their navy, but the Argentinians overpower them with air superiority and preventing a few landings. The 2 weeks that Margaret Thatcher had promised passed, and the UK had nothing to show for it. In fact, they were losing since they couldn't make a landing and lost a few ships in the process. This sealed the fate for the United Kingdom as Margaret Thatcher was replaced as Prime Minister and the UK withdrew from the war. This was a major win for Argentina and the military government's ruined popularity. In the peace treaty, Argentina manages to take the Falkland Islands and South Georgia Island. Here is the peace treaty visualized. The islands are also renamed. They will now be called Islas Malvinas. Also, I think that the UK's economy will recover and the nation will stabilize. The international community recognizes that Argentina is the owner of the Falkland Islands. Remember earlier when I said that every South American nation supported Argentina except Chile? At the time Chile was ruled by another military governor, Augusto Pinochet. He was a US ally since they put him in power. I won't go in detail in this video, but in summary, Chile democratically elected a socialist president, which angered the US and they sponsored a coup and put Augusto Pinochet in charge. Argentina and other fellow South American nations wish to remove the US influence from their continent, so they create an alliance against Chile. But before I announce the alliance, I want to point out to you that the part of the border between Argentina and Chile is disputed even until today. The border war between the coalition against the US influence and Chile will start on this border right here. The countries that joined the coalition are Uruguay because they seek better terms with Argentina, Bolivia because they are still bitter that they lost their entire coastline to Chile in the War of the Pacific, which was about 100 years ago in this timeline. The last country to join is Ecuador. They joined because they seek greater economic cooperation between them and Argentina, whom they believe will overpower Chile. You can say that it was kind of symbolic that Ecuador joined since they won't provide much. Argentina pushes across the disputed border. Chileans tried to attack them but lost a key battle that split the country in two. From the north, Bolivia and Argentina push and reclaim the Pacific coast. Chile tries to push into Argentina. They succeed, but their back is now not guarded. This is what the front line looks like right now. As you can see, the coalition is on the outskirts of the enemy capital. There is a long and bloody fight for it, but eventually the Argentinians capture the city and the Chilean government collapses and sues for peace. Here is the peace treaty visualized. Bolivia restores their borders of 1879 and Argentina annexes all of the Patagonia territory, giving them access to the Pacific Ocean as well. Chile is now a republic, but their politics are heavily manipulated by the coalition. In terms of population, the Sound contained about 860,000 people, which are now part of Argentina. while the north was about 510,000 people were forced to join Bolivia. This is where I'm gonna end the video. Let me know if you wanna see a part 2 on this alternative history where I explore economics and alliances. Let me know in the comments if you want to see that video. Also watch these videos if you want to consume more of my content. For now, I'll end it here. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.